Welcome, Paul again. Good to see you. Welcome to my third video journal. Just a week to go now before the marathon and finishing off my training, and here we are today in Swiss Valley. Beautiful, just a mile and a half about outside of the centre of Llanelli, and here's a gorgeous reservoir. I do some of my running around here. Water, it's all around, and it's incredibly important. For those guys who are involved in disaster recovery, water is one of the most important things that's got to be provided after a disaster. But then that water has got to be provided in an ongoing way. It needs to be sustainable over the long term. If something's going to actually work in terms of recovery afterwards, need water. And it's the same for marathon runners. I don't know whether any of you have followed any debates about water and hydration in marathon running, but it's incredibly important. There's plenty of debate about how much water you're meant to take and how much water you lose during a marathon, but put the debate aside and I can tell you it's an awful lot from my experience. Two things are clear in the midst of the debate though. First thing is this: you need to actually take water when you're running a marathon. It's incredibly important. And the second thing is that you actually need to be taking water on board before you actually get thirsty. The first marathon I did, I actually took water on board, but it was far too late. I wasn't thirsty until towards the end of the race, and so I didn't actually drink any water. And by the time I started to drink, I was already dehydrated and it was too late. The result was I hit the wall. I had a terrible marathon. My second marathon and my next marathons, I'd learned the lesson to make sure that I was drinking plenty, and I was drinking before I actually felt thirsty. Do you know, there's a lesson there, isn't there, for us in life? Because so often we think that we can keep going and keep going and keep going. We don't need to stop. And we leave it until we think that we need to stop. But you know, the reality is, by the time we do stop, sometimes it's too late to really get the refreshment and to be energized in the way that just taking a break and taking a time for relaxation can actually give us. Jesus was a guy who knew about the importance of rest. With the people that followed him, he spent time not just in heavy work, but he also spent time in taking those guys aside and giving them time to think, giving them downtime, giving them time to relax. It's really important in the midst of our work to actually understand that rest is so important too. I wonder about you. I wonder if you're stopping for those times to rest, to reflect, to think about life, to think about where you're going, to think about God, to think about what His plans and purposes are for your life. Maybe today you don't feel thirsty, but maybe you need to stop. See you in a week or so's time with my final video journal, and I'll let you know how I got on in the Milton Keynes Marathon. Thanks for listening, thanks for putting up with me, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, bye bye.